What's up, crypto fam? Get ready, because the market is absolutely exploding with news, and you need to be in the know. We're talking about massive institutional plays, game-changing presale launches, and the seismic shifts happening across the altcoin universe. The pace is frantic, the action is nonstop, and if you miss this episode, you're missing out on the moves that are defining the future of finance. We've got the inside scoop on everything you need to stay ahead of the curve. So buckle up, because you're about to get the unmissable updates that are setting the crypto world ablaze. Let's dive in. First up, we're breaking down how the big players are quietly building a new bull case for Bitcoin, despite what the charts might be telling you right now. Are the whales onto something big? Then, get ready for a major announcement from Bitcoin Swift as they confirm an early presale launch following a massive fundraising success. This is the kind of momentum you don't want to sleep on. Next, we're analyzing the critical support levels for Bitcoin and uncovering the surprising altcoin rotation that's sending ripples through the market, with major players like Ethereum and Layer Brett making waves. And finally, we're exploring the altcoin aspirations that have investors navigating volatility as Bitcoin's grip starts to loosen. Who's making the big moves, and where is the smart money flowing? Don't go anywhere, you're watching the Bitcoin Bulletin, and it's time to get informed. Make sure you're subscribed and hit that notification bell so you never miss a beat. Institutional whales quietly build new bull case for Bitcoin. When the market dips, the smart money often accumulates. Despite Bitcoin facing historically weak September trends, with BTC and ETH prices dipping below key psychological levels and significant liquidations impacting long positions, a powerful undercurrent of institutional confidence is emerging. While the market grapples with short-term volatility, with Bitcoin trading below $110,000 and Ethereum below $4,400, leading to over $9 billion in liquidations, especially affecting long positions, the long-term outlook remains robust. Network economists, like Timothy Peterson, point to a compelling historical pattern. Bitcoin has averaged a 44% gain in the lead-up to Christmas, with a 70% probability of an upward move within this period. This suggests a potential path for BTC to reach $160,000 by the end of 2025, provided seasonal trends hold and atypical years are excluded. This optimistic forecast is bolstered by significant institutional activity. In Q2 2025, institutional investors poured $33.6 billion into Bitcoin ETFs, a trend spearheaded by major players like Brevan Howard and Harvard Management Company. BlackRock's iShares Bitcoin Trust, IBIT, has notably shifted custody dynamics, now holding more BTC than Coinbase, indicating a move towards regulated platforms and away from retail exchanges. This structural shift implies that institutional demand is increasingly influencing price discovery and reducing the impact of retail liquidity on Bitcoin's trajectory. Despite recent outflows from Bitcoin ETFs, totaling $1.17 billion over a 5-day period in mid-August 2025, attributed to uncertainty surrounding Federal Reserve policy following hotter-than-expected inflation data, these movements are viewed as cyclical. Historical precedents show that ETFs often rebound after similar macroeconomic shocks. Further reinforcing this bullish sentiment is the behavior of Bitcoin whales, who added approximately 20,000 BTC following Q2 corrections. Similarly, Ethereum whales have increased their holdings by 9.3% since October 2024. These actions underscore a growing institutional conviction in cryptocurrencies as viable treasury assets. While September presents a test of market resilience, potentially purging overextended positions, it may ultimately pave the way for the next phase of growth, rather than signaling the end of the bull market. This institutional accumulation, despite short-term price dips, has the crypto community buzzing with anticipation for a potential year-end rally. Now, while the big institutions are making their moves, a different kind of player is making serious waves with an early presale launch. Stick around. Bitcoin Swift confirms early presale launch for August 30, following $1.3 million raise. get ready for a decentralized financial operating system's final presale push. Bitcoin Swift, BTC3, is set to launch its presale early on August 30, a move fueled by overwhelming investor interest that has already secured over $1.3 million and onboarded more than 5,500 participants. The project, designed as a decentralized financial operating system, is entering its final presale stage, Stage 7, with tokens priced at $7 and offering an impressive final phase annual percentage yield, APY, of 300%. This accelerated launch comes at a time when Bitcoin and Ethereum are experiencing strong market momentum, driven by institutional inflows, evolving regulatory landscapes, and widespread adoption across decentralized finance, DeFi, non-fungible tokens, NFTs, and Layer 2 ecosystems. Bitcoin Swift distinguishes itself with a robust technological foundation, incorporating features designed for scalability, security, and compliance readiness. Crucially, the project has undergone rigorous audits by Cyberscope, SolidProof, and SpyWolf, with full Know Your Customer (KYC) verification completed, providing investors with a high degree of confidence in its security and legitimacy. Stage 7 represents the last chance for investors to acquire BTC3 tokens before the early launch. To incentivize participation in this concluding phase, Bitcoin Swift has introduced the Everything Must Go bonus event. Under this promotion, an investment of $6,000, for instance, secures 857 base tokens plus a substantial 150% bonus, adding 1,285 tokens for a total of 2,142 tokens. At a projected post-launch price of $15, this investment could potentially yield over $32,000, not even accounting for proof of yield, POI payouts. The project also continues to reward its community through an active referral program, offering 25% rewards to both the referrer and the referee on all transactions. The excitement surrounding Bitcoin Swift is being amplified by significant influencer coverage, with reviews highlighting the project as a movement gaining considerable traction within the crypto space. Initially launching on the Solana blockchain for its high transaction speeds, sub-second finality, and minimal transaction costs, under 1 cent, Bitcoin Swift plans to transition to its own blockchain in 2026, maintaining token parity through a 1-1 bridge. With less than 3 days until the early launch, participation is accelerating, and community engagement is at an all-time high, driven by the combination of programmable POI rewards, the final stage APY, and attractive launch incentives. This early launch and massive presale success signal a strong demand for innovative DeFi solutions. As one crypto project surges ahead, another is navigating critical support levels, sparking a surprising rotation into specific altcoins. Let's see where the market is shifting. Bitcoin's critical $112,000 support and the emerging altcoin rotation to Ethereum and Layer Brett. Key support levels are being tested, triggering a significant shift in investor focus. Bitcoin is currently facing a crucial test at its $112,000 support level, a point that, if breached, could trigger substantial market movements and potentially accelerate an emerging rotation into select altcoins, notably Ethereum and Layer Brett, LBRETT. The broader market sentiment remains cautious, influenced by Bitcoin's performance and macroeconomic uncertainties. However, analysts are observing a subtle but significant shift in capital flows, with investors looking for alternative opportunities beyond Bitcoin as its dominance faces pressure. Ethereum, already a major player, is seeing renewed interest as a potential beneficiary of this rotation, driven by its robust ecosystem, ongoing network upgrades, and increasing adoption in DeFi and NFTs. Its ability to maintain key price levels and its strong fundamental growth are making it an attractive alternative for capital seeking stability and growth potential amidst Bitcoin's volatility. Layer Brett, LBRETT, a newer entrant, is also capturing attention. While specific details about LBRETT's fundamentals and market position are still emerging, its inclusion in this rotation suggests it is tapping into the speculative appetite for high-growth potential altcoins. This rotation pattern is often observed during periods of consolidation or minor downturns in Bitcoin's price, where investors seek to diversify their portfolios and capitalize on the potential for higher returns in smaller cap or emerging altcoins. The success of this rotation will largely depend on Bitcoin's ability to hold its critical $112,000 support. A decisive break below this level could lead to increased liquidations and a broader market sell-off, potentially negating the altcoin rotation. Conversely, if Bitcoin stabilizes or rebounds from this support, it could validate the rotation thesis, leading to significant price appreciation for Ethereum and Layer Brett, as well as other altcoins that benefit from increased market liquidity and positive sentiment. The current market dynamics suggest a complex interplay of factors, including institutional investment trends, macroeconomic policy, and investor psychology, all of which are contributing to the evolving landscape of cryptocurrency investment strategies. The focus on these specific altcoins indicates a growing maturity in the market, where investors are increasingly discerning and seeking out projects with strong fundamentals and clear growth trajectories. This potential altcoin rotation highlights a growing diversification strategy among investors looking for growth beyond Bitcoin. Speaking of altcoins making moves, we're seeing a broader trend of investors navigating volatility as Bitcoin's dominance starts to ease. Let's break down who's benefiting. Altcoin aspirations. Investors navigate volatility as Bitcoin's grip eases. As Bitcoin's dominance wavers, altcoins are stepping into the spotlight, creating a dynamic market environment. The cryptocurrency market is currently experiencing a significant shift, with altcoins gaining traction as investor sentiment increasingly favors alternatives to Bitcoin. Despite Bitcoin's enduring 57% market dominance, a growing number of altcoins, including Ethereum, ETH, and XRP, are demonstrating impressive price gains, signaling the potential onset of an altcoin season. This trend is further evidenced by a surge in altcoin futures open interest, which has reached a substantial $61.7 billion, alongside notable inflows from large holders, commonly referred to as whales. These indicators point to heightened speculative activity and a growing appetite for riskier, higher-reward assets within the crypto space. However, this increased activity is not without its volatility. Recent sharp corrections in altcoin prices highlight the inherent risks, and analysts caution that the altcoin market capitalization has not yet fully decoupled from Bitcoin's performance, meaning BTC's movements still heavily influence the broader market. XRP, in particular, has seen a notable cooling in speculative activity, with its futures open interest dropping by 30% from a peak of $11 billion to $7.7 billion. While this might indicate a potential accumulation phase after a period of high leverage, XRP's future trajectory is closely linked to its utility within Ripple's cross-border payment network. Analysts project that XRP could reach $5.25 by 2030, contingent on the expansion of Ripple's payment corridors and increased adoption of XRP for settlement. The token's integration into Ripple's RLUSD stablecoin could further enhance its real-world utility and demand. Beyond XRP, other altcoins like Solana, Sol, and Cardano ADA are also showing bullish patterns and attracting investor interest. Solana, with its ascending triangle pattern, could potentially break above $210, while Cardano is being watched for its ability to maintain key support levels. Both have benefited from speculative flows shifting towards high-beta assets. The overall market sentiment suggests that while Bitcoin remains the dominant force, the growing interest and performance of altcoins indicate a potential diversification of investment strategies. If these rotational flows continue to favor altcoins, it could usher in a new bull cycle for alternative cryptocurrencies. Nevertheless, investors are urged to remain cautious, as leverage remains stretched across the market, and further corrections could trigger significant liquidations, underscoring the need for careful risk management. This evolving market dynamic suggests that while Bitcoin remains foundational, altcoins are increasingly becoming key drivers of potential returns for investors willing to navigate the inherent volatility. But what does this all mean for you? We'll recap the biggest stories and give you the full rundown on how to stay on top of the crypto game. And that's a wrap on today's explosive crypto news. We saw institutional whales quietly building a new bull case for Bitcoin, Bitcoin Swift confirming an early presale launch after a massive raise, a critical rotation into Ethereum and Layer Brett as Bitcoin holds key support, and altcoins stepping up as Bitcoin's grip loosens. Don't miss out on the next big move. Hit that like button, subscribe to the Bitcoin Bulletin for all your crypto insights, ring that notification bell, and let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Follow us on all social platforms to stay connected. We'll see you in the next one.